Hello and welcome to BW London Podcast. So I just thought I'd say something really small about Caroline Flack because I was really affected by her death at the start of lockdown, and it's not because I feel particularly close to her, like a celebrity I really adore or anything like that. It was because I recognized her. I saw many people that I've grown up with, friends that I've known over the years. I saw that in her. So today when I read the news that her mum said that she may have had bipolar disorder, or told that weeks before her death, it just doesn't surprise me, because the reason I was actually affected by Caroline's death is because when she was on the show last, she used to come on sometimes looking really hungover, rough, other times looking really glamorous the following day. And I used to say to a friend of mine, she seems really unstable. Doesn't she remind you of so-and-so? You know, I had real references for her character. She really reminded me of some people I knew. So the next season when Caroline was on the show, I wasn't surprised at all. And I don't follow popular culture very much, so I didn't know about her and Harry from One Direction. So when I didn't see her on the show, I researched her and I bumped into that. And I was very late to the news, but, you know, it was just such a reminder that women and men, I don't know if it's an 80s thing, those of us born in the 80s, I don't know if it's that particular generation, which is mine. We just don't seem to grow up. We just do not seem to like adulthood. They see, especially our dress code. We seem to insist to continue to dress young. In the white culture, it's more chavvy. In the black culture, it's called ratchet. But there's just a look of not wanting to grow up. I personally can't stand to see 40-year-old men in tracksuits and trainers that my sons could be wearing. It's horrible. But, you know, it just seems like a really cultural thing, and mental health, as we know, is rampant. It is really rampant right now. I know that I could speak for myself, let alone people that I know or people that I've seen fallen off or even died. So for that reason, I was really affected and touched by Caroline. It just, weeks went by and I just wasn't getting over it. It was really burning me that she, you know, that it got so bad that she ended her life. And her partner, who kept saying it was because the restraining order and he didn't want it, and they just, I think he said they just wanted to see each other. I'm not sure of the specifics, but I remember at the time I kept thinking, oh, maybe if that wasn't in place, and, you know, I was coming from the same place he was. But as the days went on, not days, it was weeks, I remember thinking, but we know the story that Caroline, you know, smashed an object on his head and injured him quite badly, which means she was quite dangerous. And somebody who would take their own life also could be quite dangerous to you, the person, because they're in that state of mind where they may take your life and theirs. And I remember thinking, my goodness, he doesn't know it now, but he was probably really, really well protected. He was really looked after by the system without even realising it. And obviously in all his emotions, he probably couldn't see that then, and maybe he can see that now, who knows. But yeah, if Caroline did have bipolar, it would actually make the story make a little bit more sense. Because like I said, I saw instability long before her suicide. And I'd imagine behind the scenes, people who are close to her would have some stories to tell about where she was at mentally. But sending love to her family. Caroline was fantastic at her time on Love Island. Before she seemed unstable, it was a really good run. And, you know, she's been on many other shows hosting. And although I'm not like a major fan or anything, I respected the girl and I liked her style. Although later down the years, even her style didn't feel like herself. It felt like, to me, she seemed like she would look better in slightly more tomboyish clothes and slightly more adult dressing as the years went on. It was, you know, she was wearing clothes that like Little Mix could wear, and it didn't fit her face. She's got a really strong face, you know, especially as the years went by. But it was just really sad, and suicide is something, it's rampant in our community, and a lot of us can relate to it, and that story will always live with me because it was at the beginning of lockdown. I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I remember it. And I just remember it burned and burned and burned. And, you know, I've had my own suicidal incidents, and I just... Rest in peace, Caroline.